there was a phrase coined by Freud, actually, the narcissism of small differences. Humans love to define themselves in a certain way and then define themselves against another group. It's just a natural thing that we do. I'm sure it's got some roots in sort of evolutionary biology, the sort of tribalism of football teams and local derbies and all of that. We hate the Reds, we hate the Blues. And you see it in Gulliver's Travels, the little enders and the big enders who used to fight. There's a pastiche and satire on this whole notion.
Yeah.
The little enders used to say the only way was to eat your boiled egg from the little end, and the big enders would say the opposite, and they would get into a massive war over this issue.
Yeah.
I saw it recently actually well, it all comes together because was lucky enough to work with Les Binet at Adam and Eve. And I think I learned an awful lot from him. The only single thing I ever managed to teach him was the idea of the narcissism of small differences. I told him about this concept, and I think he was quite taken with it. He and I both experienced this on stage recently at a marketing conference where I was put there to try and fight for the concept of big as a collection of smalls, and he was put there on stage to big up his talk, which was go big or go home. And I think the talk organizers or the conference organizers were hoping and expecting that he and I would have this big kind of intellectual fight over whether bigness was about collections of smalls or just going big.
Yeah.
There was a kind of big or small thing that they wanted us to kind of fight it out about. Of course, I'm not stupid enough that I'm going to get on stage and have a fight, an intellectual fight with the great and amazing Les Binet, because he would kill me on stage in front of hundreds of marketing people. So I didn't do that, and I looked for the commonalities, and we did find some. In fact, we both ended up coming up with the conclusion that regardless of the differences between our sort of stated positions, we both wanted brands to do things a little bit bigger, a couple of sizes bigger than they have some ambition. So brands grow if they want to act a bit bigger than they were. Do bigger things, do more things, spend more, and act like a bigger brand. Essentially, was the sort of basic theory that we both came up with on the stage in the moment. And that was a nice example, I think, of trying to find some common ground, trying to find some nuance, not going for the easy headlines in it's this or this, and because and I think basically neither of us had any interest in there being a kind of marketing week headline, which is Les says it's all about big, and Roach and Kite say it's all about lots of smalls. It just didn't seem a battle worth having, or not one that I think either of us would believe in completely.